its core, value is not an inherent quality of anything. It is something we assign to things. But value isn't just about money or material wealth. It exists in two forms: social or moral values, the beliefs, customs, and ethics that shape human behavior. These tell us what is right and wrong, what is normal and strange. Material value, the worth we assign to physical objects, from food and shelter to gold and paper money. Both of these forms of value are human-made. Neither exists on its own. They only exist because people believe in them. But how does that happen? How does something go from being just a belief to being an unquestioned reality? Cultural value, the norms we mistake for truth. From the moment we're born, we are programmed to accept certain values without question. These values shape our behavior, our judgments, even our emotions. Yet we rarely stop to ask why we believe in them. Think about it. Why do people in some cultures eat certain animals while others would be disgusted by the very thought? A man in China might consider eating a certain dish completely normal, while someone from the West might be horrified by it. But is there really something inherently wrong with eating that animal? No. The discomfort isn't coming from the food itself. It's coming from the social programming of the person who finds it disgusting. Even if that person wanted to overcome their reaction, they would struggle, because their instincts have already been shaped by their culture. Cherish, an example of someone expressing similar
Say,
feelings.
don't eat pork, because pork is dirty and disgusting. And that idea has been stuck with me ever since. So much that physically and mentally I am unable to eat pork. This just goes to show the power of instilling ideas at a young age.
The hesitation, the disgust, the feeling that something is off. These are all proof that our values are deeply ingrained, even when we aren't aware of them. This is where the illusion of normalcy comes in. Because we grow up inside a particular society, we assume its way of life is the default, the natural way humans should behave. This is why people often judge other cultures without realizing they are doing so from their own biased perspective. This is called ethnocentrism, the tendency to see one's own culture as the standard and all others as deviations. But when you take a step back, you realize there is no default human experience. Every value, every norm, every sense of right and wrong is shaped by the collective beliefs of a society, not by some universal truth. Material value, the grand illusion of wealth. Just as we inherit cultural norms, we also inherit ideas about wealth and material value. But here's the thing, what we consider valuable has changed drastically throughout history. Long ago, people traded goods directly, bartering one thing for another. Then came commodity money, where people used items like salt, cattle, and even shells as currency. Yes, salt was once money. Imagine going to a store today and paying for something with a handful of salt. It sounds ridiculous, but back then, it was just as normal as using coins or paper bills today. So how did we go from salt and cattle to gold? And why did gold, out of all things, become the standard for wealth? Gold wasn't valuable because of some magical quality. It was simply rare, shiny, and easy to mold into coins. It was useful, but not special, over time. Because so many people accepted gold as valuable, it became valuable. The belief in its worth became self-reinforcing, until people forgot that its value was never intrinsic. It was just a choice that society made. Fast forward to today, and we've taken the illusion even further. Gold, once the backbone of wealth, has been replaced by fiat money, paper bills, and digital numbers that have value simply because governments say they do. Your bank balance isn't real in any physical sense. It's just an agreed-upon representation of value. And yet, society treats it as absolute. Now ask yourself, what happens if society changes its mind again? If tomorrow, The world decided that silicon chips were more valuable than gold. Gold's worth would plummet, while silicon's would skyrocket. The material itself didn't change. Only human perception did. And that's the key. Material value is not real. It is a shared fiction, just like social values. The grand illusion. Nothing is truly precious. So what does all of this mean? It means that everything we value, our morals, our traditions, our money, is a construct. It exists only because we believe in it. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. Shared beliefs are what allow societies to function. But the moment we stop questioning them, we fall into the trap of thinking they are absolute truths rather than collective illusions. The reality is, nothing is inherently valuable, except in the minds of those who believe it to be.